how have you, Alice? How have you navigated with introducing alternate things to people? And can you give me an example where you might have said maybe try some meditation to someone and it wasn't well received, or has it been well received by anybody, and everybody that you've consulted? Or
I just say, listening to Euahna, I have been blessed that I've worked in a practice where I've been able to have longer appointments, so diet, exercise, your mind, the context of the person.
Yes.
That's part of the consultation.
Right.
And I was like an educator in women's health for many years, and that was the consultation we described to talk about exercise, to talk about diet. So there are doctors out there doing it.
Right.
If someone's not interested in meditation, that's their choice. That's actually okay. But I was surprised. There was a time I was doing sort of evening surgery,
right,
and there in came the businessmen wanting to learn about meditating.
Right.
I was so touched, that this is a skill now that's mainstream and a good skill to.
Yeah, I mean, I learned it by default. My analyst used to say to me all the time, Therese, start meditation, and I was just after I had my son at the gym, and there was a yoga class, and I started learning about breath and breathing in right all the way down your diaphragm, all the way down. And I came out of it feeling like I'd taken drugs, and I've never taken drugs in my life. So I went, oh my God, I've got to do this again. So I guess because I had such a positive experience from it, I then cultivated it and was lucky enough to have someone teach me how to meditate. And it's now a daily practice that I do twice a day. And it's
lovely,
really,
Therese.
really important to ground me and to bring me back to my center, to give me equilibrium, to give gratitude, to be in a space of gratitude, because the word gratitude, just like the word feminism, just like the word manifestation, has been hijacked now, and people don't actually understand what it means to be in gratitude and to be experiencing being gracious and thanking, and how that then cultivates more for you to be grateful for. And I've learned that through meditation,
Thank you for this lunch.
You're welcome.
Right. Just in case I forget to say
the food. The food. I forgot. Yeah, the food. The food is.
Thank you so much. The colour on the table.
Oh, I'm so happy that you like it. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Well, it is
You're
festive.
manifesting.
Something
amazing.
We're manifesting the food. I tell you, the chicken is the butter and thyme chicken, and the potato salad is my mum's recipe. Loads of garlic. The salad it's tabbouleh. You can use borrol, or you can leave it out. I am intolerant to wheat, so I left it out. And all the recipes will be on all my social media. But I just think that we, the headspace that you have, the consciousness that you have, and that I have, I mean, for me, it's like we need more of this. We need more of it. This is what the world needs, to be in a space where you can have different views, different education, different values, and be celebrating together our human experience.
Oh,
that's so important.
Lovely. It feels so nice.
That's
actually,
what we
just
need.
Sitting here, I can feel it.
You're welcome.
Because
you're welcome, Alice.
It's a rat race. Our lives are a rat race. That's why we don't meditate. Well, I'd meditate too, but I'm just saying that's why. And I remember seeing patients who were so in the rat race. And I do believe that acupuncture, laser, whatever, acupuncture can actually help people understand and experience a relaxation or that time of presence, having had with acupuncture, that enables them to take on learning yoga,
about their body.
And meditation, and I have seen that happen quite a few. Have you seen that? Quite a few times, patients who you never thought would meditate end up doing it.
But this is the thing. When I got sarcoidosis, that was a blessing for me. I'll tell you why. Because aside from the fact that the idiot doctor didn't know what it was and kept palming it off like it was nothing, it was a blessing because in the moment that he told me what I had, and he said, all we know is that a tremendous amount of stress precedes this condition. I went, well, if my body can get to a point where it's so stressed, it produces these lymph nodes in my lungs, which is sarcoidosis, then my body can undo that. Because my body is so intelligent. And this, for me, is so fundamentally important. We are not designed to be machines.
No, we're not.
We are designed to be in harmony with the world and be grounded and be,
we're energetic.
Yes.
We're an energy.
Everything is energy. Everything. And it took me 2 years till I had my next X-ray. I didn't want to see it. It took me 2 years and they were gone. Well, through daily meditation and practice of peace and harmony, and I allowed nothing into that space that would affect that. Nothing.
Well, the mind is very powerful.
That's what I mean. You believe what you receive, what you believe.
And I have a very unusual neurologist who has been a patient recently, but he says that he cannot talk about how he sees the brain and the mind to his colleagues because...
Is that right?
Because he sees the mind as being separate to the actual function of the brain.
Oh, right, okay.
Like the spirit.
Yeah, the spirit. Yeah, that's what the mind is, yeah. Well, I mean...
But he cannot... But he believes it strongly. And, in fact, he's actually referred a patient to past life.
Yes, you mentioned that to me. You did mention that to me.
So he's a very interesting neurologist.
You mentioned that to me.
If you need to know someone like that. He's someone who's very, very aware, very open, and...
I love that. I love that. Because...
But actually the same thing, because of saying, I can't, because I think I might have mentioned they look at me as if I'm a Martian. You said, yes, well, I don't say anything now because I got the same experience.
Wow.
So
that's a commonality.
Yes,
we are.
Yes, that would be a commonality. I have a friend who's a social scientist and he's an atheist. He was raised a Jew, but he's an atheist. And we've often had this conversation about he doesn't believe anything exists afterwards. And I said to him, so explain love to me then.
Love?
Yeah. He said, what do you mean? And I said, tell me about what love is to you. He goes, well, it's a feeling. And I said, but what does it do when you're in love? Like, what does it engender in you? Explain that to me. Because if you can't, because he needs everything to be quantified and qualified. How do you quantify and qualify love? But you know when love exists, you know when there's peace, because when you enter a room, you can feel it. And conversely, when you enter a room where there's discord or disharmony, you feel that too. Well, you can't give me an answer. I just put it out there for you. I just put it out there for him. It's not me trying to convince you of anything, but I just know in that experience that it's an energy, that everything is energy. Everything is energy.
And also when someone you love leaves the room.
Yeah.
You can still feel it.
You can
feel the presence.
We feel energy before we see or feel anything. And look, people have often said to me at times, you're so hypersensitive and because of the background you've had. And I said, yes, that's all part and parcel of it. That gives me this ability to discern of whether I'm dealing with a moron or whether I'm dealing with someone that needs a little bit of respect. But however, I will feel that energy before I even, shake a hand with someone or exchange.
Yeah.
My daughter said to me at my cousin's wedding recently, why didn't you kiss so-and-so? And I said, because I didn't want their energy on me. And I told you this, I'm very discerning with who I exchange energy with. I didn't want that person to touch me.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with that. And I was polite. I said, hi, how are you? Nice to meet you. But they don't need to hug me and kiss me. I don't even know you. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I do know what you mean.
So and my daughter was like, okay, Mum, and I said to her, you'll learn that. You're 25. You'll come to terms with that. It's taken me a lifetime to come to terms with that, So energy is infectious.
It's everywhere.
It's everywhere and it's everything.
It is. And I think when I did when I started my acupuncture life, I was introduced to some amazing practitioners, Canadian one, I think I might have mentioned to you, who taught Qigong, meditation, and so he was very influential in my understanding of transfer of energy and also protecting my energy.
Yes,
because that's what we have to do.
Yeah.
And I know if I'm not 100%, and COVID drained me so that I wasn't as strong, which is why I haven't been as well. Because you have to protect from, because we don't have choice.
Yes.
We don't have choice of who comes into our space.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
So we actually have to protect ourselves from certain people, and unless you're consciously thinking about it, you can easily get
a transfer as well. Yeah, you do. I've done a number of Liz's meditations with Archangel Michael, where you're cutting energetic cords. It really, really helped. It really helped me, you know, which is why at this last family event I was like, I don't want anyone to touch me. Don't go. And it was polite. I didn't say don't touch me. I didn't have to. You know what I mean?
No. Yeah. You do it without being obvious.
Yes.
But I recently went to the conference on photobiomodulation, and the visiting expert is a physicist from Paris or from France, and he's a quantum physicist. So he discussed light, and he's very involved with photobiomodulation. In fact, he runs the only diploma of photobiomodulation in the world at the University of Montpellier, which I'm involved with workshops for. And it was interesting but this is with a group who understand laser and light. It was also interesting within this group, there were people who could not quite understand his
philosophy.
Yes, his idea of where this was going with energy.
But you know, speaking of energy, Einstein, who was a physicist, people often ask when they talk about manifestation. I mean, he is an example of not only someone who was a genius and very scientific, but someone who embraced spirituality as well. And he said in manifestation, this is physics. You just have to align with the same vibration of what you're asking for. It's physics. That's what it is. So
that's amazing.
That's the way that I explain it to people, especially people that think spirituality is so, you know, airy-fairy or you've lost the plot. I use these examples to show that you can be an all-encompassing human being and not be compartmentalized, and embrace that you're a scientist, both of you are, as well as being a spiritual being who's having a human experience. And I think that that's so important in this world, because we need to get back to the essence of who we are, because otherwise we're going to kill each other. We're going to continue to do that.
Continue to,
you know, you're sort of expert at that, but maybe let's be more expert
at that's right,
lighting candles and having a meal like this.
Having a meal and having difference of opinion and enjoying each other's company. And going, you know what, your values and your views are different to mine, but you're still welcome, and we're still celebrating each other.
I'm practice saying that. Thank you so much. You've sort of
armed
me in a way, armed me with the language for next year.
Oh, but I think, you know, I mean, look, this is me coming from a background, like I said, I grew up in a very turbulent household where it was really survival as we were growing up. And then when you grow up in that kind of environment, your needs are the last thing that I considered. Not that my mother didn't. She was a wonderful mother and did what she could to protect us. But I went from being a people pleaser to being confident, assertive, after many, many, many years of work on myself. So, and I value that. I do value that, you know.
Well, it's led you on this path now.
It has.
So it's the right way.
It is.
Yeah,
it is.
For you.
It is the right way for me. You
good
know?
on you.
And oftentimes, you know, I have these moments where, even when I'm meditating, and because your mind plays tricks on you, and you'll ask yourself, well, what if you could have your mother back? Because I loved her so much. I was so in love with my mother. She was my everything. What if you could have her back? And what if you could have your twin brother back? And the same with my twin brother. And I go, I would love a moment with them However, I realize that if my mother hadn't have died, I wouldn't be the person that I am now.
now.
And the same with my twin brother.
Wow,
You
twin
know?
brothers
Things-
close.
Yes.
But things happen for a reason, as you said.
I do believe that. I do believe that. And I know she's really happy, and I know my brother is happy as well. And that brings me the most peace and joy, you know, until I return to be with them. Hopefully not for a long time, because I've got lots to do.
I mean, if there's still things you want to say to them,
I do
you
say
can write.
Oh,
you
I do. I do.
Yeah.
I do. I say it to them. I speak to Liz, who often they come through very quickly whenever I speak to her. And I said recently when I spoke to her, I was saying, where's my brother? I haven't felt him in a while. And that light will turn on automatically. It just starts flashing, right? And she said, yes, he's laughing because he's proud of him, because he was a scientist. He's so proud that he could do that. So I'm like, okay, as long as he's happy with it, I'm happy.
The wonder of this world.
That's remarkable. It's mind-boggling to me, and that someone could say that there's nothing that exists beyond that or before. Like, it's mind-boggling, but explain love.
Explain
Explain
how
love.
we're here.
How is that possible? You know, and that curiosity that I love. I love that curiosity about me, because it makes me want to be open to other people. You know, which I think is so important. Is that adults have lost that childlike, that nascent quality that they had when they were really young,
of asking questions,
questions, and that curiosity. And you really do need to be like a child. You have to
also
believe.
even believing, but also even accepting.
Yes,
because we are very quick to not put down,
dismiss.
but dismiss something that we can't understand.
Yes,
and yet we were like that as children. We didn't understand things, but we accepted what we were being. You know, that this is what's happening. And so I think we have lost that. We feel that we know everything. We know so little.
The more I learn, I realise I know nothing.
I know.
That's the more I learn.
And
I go, wow.
That's right. And when Damien was talking about quantum physics, I can assure you, you know, you just sort of think, how am I keeping up with what he's talking about? But to him, it's natural. He understands it. You know, it's hard, but then that's just the beginning. The beginning of what is possible.
Anything is possible if you believe it, and as long as I always say, as long as your will or your wish does not interfere with somebody else's. So when you're putting a wish out to manifest, for me, it needs to be about you. Like, I can't wish that my mother was back or my brother was back, because that was their will and that was their wish. You know, so I have a lot of wishes. You know, people to be kinder, people to be more open.
I was saying to a friend early this morning that I have grandchildren. Euahna has grandchildren, and there's so much to learn from them.
I know.
I mean, I see my children in them, and
how many grandchildren do you have?
I've got 7.
Oh, bless
I've
you!
got a lot.
That's amazing.
and I'm learning so much.
Yes,
you know, and exactly what you say, the curiosity, the questions, but just the moment,
the presence,
the present moment.
That's why it's called a present.
It's so
it's a gift.
Wonderful to just be there and have those moments with them. It's really a gift.
It's a gift. Yeah.
Then I'm exhausted afterwards.
I know, but you can recharge and replenish and give them back.
Yeah,
because my daughter's philosophy is, you're going to help me raise my children. I've done all the raising I can do. It's on you now, babe. So,
and it's different to your own.
Yes, it is different.
How
it's
different?
Sort of a bit more fun.
You're relaxed. You're a bit more relaxed. Yes.
Because I don't have
because you don't have the responsibility,
and you don't have the whole 24 hours. You know, so it is different. It is different, and you enjoy the moment, as you say. You enjoy them at the time, for who they are and what's happening. Rather than thinking, well, we've got to do this. You don't have those other things in your mind that you do.
Yeah,
as a mother.
No, you don't. That's all you have to do.
Or you have that
present with them.
Yeah, that's one thing I learned from having my children. And I spoke about this in my last episode, Motherhood, which comes out Monday the 11th. is that there's one thing I could learn. I wish I'd had then was I wish that I was more present, and specifically with my son, because my son's incredibly cerebral and incredibly sensitive, and I wish that I had been more present with him to acknowledge that for him. I wish that.
Have you spoken to him about
that? Yes, we've spoken many times.
He might say, no, you were, Mum. Or,
he does.
Yeah, there you go. So it's your
not,
perception.
I know, he does. But I also feel like, I don't know, and my girlfriend actually said it to me when we were filming the motherhood episode, is that you were the best that you could be at that moment. And you are the best that you can be at this moment with what you have now. And, you know, obviously as a single mother that's working full time, and I was doing my postgraduate at the time, and there's a lot going on, you know, but I just wish that for him.
That's by looking back.
I know, but hindsight, isn't it a wonderful thing? You know, I'm incredibly analytic and I'm incredibly nostalgic, which I've been told I really should be present, and that's what nostalgia does, you know, hence depression. Because nostalgia is looking back, right? Anxiety is looking forward, hence the present. So, yes, we have lots and lots to learn. Welcome back to Food for Therapy. I'm Therese Bolden with my lovely guests for Christmas dessert, and we've got some fruit mince pies with beautiful, beautiful dusting of some white snow, I call it, and some berries. As I said before, all the recipes will be on our social media. And I wanted to just have a final quick chat with you both about what is your wish? What wish do you have based on the topic that we've discussed today about difference and accepting people's difference? What is your wish leaving this table today? Please share it with me. Alice.
Well, firstly, and I just said this, is to light candles. That's my consciousness, and I hope to set up vibrations about peace. This is what I want, peace, and somehow a candle seems to
signify
that for me.
That's so beautiful.
So that's a given. And then to use some of your language, Therese, that you've imparted today, and to just use the expression, well, I celebrate difference.
Yeah. But actually celebrate the difference. Yeah. So being
and
embracing
accept.
And accept.
Yeah.
I hate that word tolerate.
Acceptance of differences.
Yes.
And well, for me, acceptance of differences. The candle bit is interesting because in Greek religion we have the oil with the light.
Yes, I know what that is.
Do you know, I've just forgotten the actual Greek name for it. And after my mother died, I had that burning 24/7 in my house.
For 40 days?
Well, you do it for 40 days is important. However, I did it for nearly 2 years.
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
And it was just such an amazing feeling doing it, lighting it, having it all set up. I'll show next time you come. And there is a not just religious. It's spiritual, but there is a peace about it because you are doing it with intent.
It's always your intention, isn't it?
Yeah, intent is so important. So there's intent, remembrance, belief, and for the higher spirit, actually.
Yeah.
It's a really beautiful thing, and it looks gorgeous. And I haven't been at my house. So I went back and I saw that it was sitting there, and I thought, oh my gosh, I've got to do my, whatever the name is. And yes, that'll be the thing I'll be doing. You've reminded me, of my whole, that essence that who is me. And my great grandmother, who lived to 100, and she died in 1969. Which not many people lived to 100 in 1969 here in Australia, and she had this. She had the little.
Did she?
Oh yes.
Was it hers?
No, this wasn't hers, but no,
she
I
had
don't
the
know
ritual.
where.
So
The
you
ritual.
learned the ritual.
I
ritual.
learned the
Yeah.
ritual. I learned the ritual, and she had a little, altar sort of thing. But she was very religious. 40 days, 40 nights.
Yeah, yeah.
She fasted before Easter, but she also fasted during the week as well. I think that's why she lived to 100. So, but I'm just saying yes, it's in my culture.
The ritual.
But it's a ritual, but it's also that unbelievable, not just spirituality, your whole energy
Changes.
Yeah.
It's a ceremony. I call it like a ceremony with spirit. The lighting of a candle. It's symbolic. It's significant. It signifies a light. The personification of something brighter than us, bigger than us.
And in the Greek church, when it's Easter, the resurrection, there's a light that comes from the altar, and you take it home.
Yes,
because that's the light of Christ.
Yes, and you take it
with you. And that's the candle that you keep alight. You keep alight all year.
Yeah. My wish is that we listen to each other more, and not just, we have 2 ears and 1 mouth, and that we listen and hear what's being said, so that we don't project onto it what our own perception is and our own projections, and that we really, really listen to people and make them feel heard, even if they are different to us. It's about celebration of difference and learning from that difference. Sometimes it's even learning what not to do is learning.
Yeah.
How you don't want to be is learning, and just being kind. Kindness is so underrated, but it's just so important. It's just so important.
It's so important just to even say hello to the person who's doing, making your coffee, or being kind, and people passing you by in the street. The number of people who don't say anything.
Or they look at you, when I go for a walk every morning, I'll smile at people, sincerely smile, because I'm happy. And oftentimes people will be unnerved by that somehow. Sometimes people, it's I think it's the direct contact, the direct eye contact that can sometimes unnerve people.
Because they're not used to.
They're not used to someone recognizing or experiencing someone that way, or giving them a smile.
No, they're not used to this energy. It's an energy.
It is an energy. But what is the Chinese proverb that says you should never have a business if you don't smile? Because
is that right?
You should never open a business because you know how they're all about luck and the green
jade.
The jade. Yes, it's all about. You should never open a business or the door of a business if you don't smile, without a smile, because it opens up a world.
Yeah.
It opens up a world for people, But I learned that from my mother, because she always smiled with her eyes. And it was just so warm and so welcoming. And, on those rare occasions that she was happy, that smile of hers made me feel so secure.
Wow.
Yeah.
The power.
The power of it. Yes.
I hope you'll smile at me, because there's a little bit of red on the white table.
That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. We've got SARS and we've got soda water. I'm going to get that out quickly. That's fine.
Oh, that's good for people following
This
the
is
recipe,
SARS,
in case one of their
SARS
guests does
Wonder
the same.
Soap. Not sure if they have it in America, but SARS Wonder Soap and a bit of soda and some cold water, and then let it sit for a few hours, and then you wash it out. It's all good.
Fabulous. Thank
It's all
you.
good.
Wonderful.
Ladies, I want to say thank you so much for celebrating with me the beautiful Christmas lunch and bringing
thank you for the beautiful Christmas
you.
lunch.
Thank you, and bringing with you your beautiful energy and your thoughts and your insight and your spirit. And I hope you come and join me again on Food for Therapy. I'm your host, Marie-Therese Bolden. Please go to our YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe. If you want to know anything about my podcast, or you have an idea on a topic you want me to tackle, you can shoot me an email at marietheresebolden sorry, not that one, foodfortherapyshow@gmail.com, and we will get back to you and let you know that we're going to take on board your suggestions and we will tackle the topic for you. For now, I wish you Merry Christmas or Happy Holidays. Take care of your family, take care of yourself, because you can't give what you don't have. And I wish you a happy 2024. Signing off for now. Bye for now.
Bye.
Bye.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.